wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WUB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is the show my people. Billies our hopes up to needless reason. Nobody feel left out. It's the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah. No respect on selfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes. WUB. And all the things that I feel happen and I got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Billies, yeah. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving. Na. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WUB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play around, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling? It's the show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WUB. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving. Na. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WUB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is the show, my people. Billies our hopes up to needless reason. Nobody feel left out. It's the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah. No respect on selfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes. WUB. And all the things that will happen and I got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Billies, yeah. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving. Na. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WUB.
Good morning, Billies. Welcome to the WUB Wake Up Billies Morning Vibes for today, Tuesday the 24th of June, 2025. We hope your morning is off to a beautiful lift. I am Mose, Hyde, hosting today. A warm welcome to each listener of KHMHA Radio, viewer of XTV, those who have turned on their devices and are accessing us via their apps or via social media streams. It is immensely beautiful that you have started your day with tapping up your zinc consumption. That's a beautiful thing. We hope you have excellent health. Your energy is through the ceiling. Your vibration is positive. And absolutely we hope you have, as selfishly at that, you have space and flexibility that you can join us for the conversation, Billies' premier morning conversation, coming up right after we've completed the warm-ups. You know how that works, right? We got some news for you from our news team. But before we do that, we find out what kind of weather we can expect today. Today's weather forecast from the National Meteorological Service forecaster Michelle Augustine.
Good morning. A slightly moist easterly airflow will prevail. The forecast is for sunny skies with some cloudy spells today, along with a few showers and isolated thunderstorms over most areas. Tonight, cloudy spells can be expected with isolated showers or thunderstorms. High temperatures will reach around 86 Fahrenheit along the coast, 92 Fahrenheit inland, and 78 Fahrenheit in the hills. Overnight temperatures will be about 77 Fahrenheit near the coast, 72 Fahrenheit inland, but only 66 Fahrenheit in the hills. Winds are from the east at 5 to 15 knots, and sea conditions will be light chop. A high tide can be expected at 60 minutes after 8 this morning, and low tide occurs at 2 minutes after 4 this evening. The moon will set at 7 minutes after 6 this evening, and the sun will set at 6:30. In the outlook for Wednesday and Wednesday night, a few showers and isolated thunderstorms at first, increasing over most areas. In the tropical weather outlook, Tropical cyclone formation is not expected during the next 48 hours over the North Atlantic Basin. That concludes this morning's weather forecast prepared at the National Meteorological Service. For more information, you can log on to our website at nms.gov.bz.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989, KHMHA FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
The news. The Coalition Memorial Hospital Authority, KHMHA, in a press release disclosed the proposal it made to its workers' union, the KHMHA WU, regarding pension. In essence, it has approved an ex gratia payment for qualifying staff members from 2001 to 2017 when there was no pension benefit in place. However, the ex gratia payment, which will be paid upon retirement, resignation, or release, does not equate to a pension for those years which the hospital says cannot be accommodated. The reason cited is that employees hired independently by the authority do not fall within the category of persons entitled to a pension under the Pensions Act, and added that a pension is due to public officers on retirement from the public service under the government of Belize. Such pensions are payable by the government of Belize and not the Coalition Memorial Hospital Authority. The KHMHA affirmed that it's ensuring the future retirement benefits for its employees through their KHMHA Employee Provident Fund. It also listed a range of incentives it says the staff are privy to, including hospital service, discounts, free medical care, access to the staff clinic, which also serves their families, group health insurance, meals, study leave, night transportation, various allowances, and access to annual staff loans under concessionary terms. The proposal was sent to the union Monday and it was discussed in the afternoon. Thereafter, the union issued a release rejecting the proposal, saying the 4% ex gratia payment is less than what was previously agreed. It also refuted the claims about incentives on the benefits, which they say the management appears to be classifying as favors and privileges when they were actually basic rights that have been earned by staff. The union calls on the authority and the government to return to the table in good faith and present an offer that truly reflects the contributions and sacrifices made by our members. 60-year-old Ulrich Lyndon Willoughby, a real estate agent, was killed Sunday night inside his home in the Vanilla Hills area located off the Bullet Tree Road in the Cayo district. Police responded after receiving a call of a home invasion, and when they got on the scene sometime after 7 p.m., they found Willoughby's wife, Miriam, who was visibly distraught. They also recovered 3 expended 9mm shells inside the home. Police say Willoughby was inside his living room when a gunman ran up to the veranda and opened fire at him. Here is ASP Stacey Smith. A 14-year-old in the South has been charged under the Cybercrime Act for the circulation of nude photos from the lost cell phone of a 20-year-old woman. Here again is ASP Stacey Smith. The Belize Tax Service has published a list of 29 tax defaulters on its website as a final call before it moves to heightened legal enforcement measures to recover monies owed. The Director General of the BTS, Mr. Longsworth, affirmed that the publication, which is supported by law, comes after they have exhausted all attempts at reaching amicable solutions.
This action is fully grounded in Section 64A of the TAPA, the Tax Administration and Procedure Act, where it empowers the Director General to publish notices like these in the Gazette or in the newspaper on our website. So it's in the law. This notice actually serves as a final call to those who have remained delinquent in the payment of taxes. The objective here, and I know there's a lot being said, but the objective here is not really to embarrass everyone or embarrass anyone, but to reinforce, I believe, the message that the tax obligation do not just disappear if you don't pay it. Taxes, as you rightly know, fund critical service within our public service. So it is unfair. It places unfair burden on others that actually do pay their taxes. So it's important that everyone pays their taxes. So this list comprises of individuals and businesses who we, the Belize Tax Service, have attempted to work with, some of whom we've even taken to court. Many have failed to engage or try to settle their obligation despite efforts for us to settle amicable. These are not just late filers or non-filers. They are willfully non-compliant. So these are persons who we've exhausted all our collection efforts. And now these are the enforcement actions that we're now taking. All right. So this is the first step of our enforcement action, because going further, in accordance with the TAPA, when publication has not resulted in compliance, because this is to asking them to please comply with us, we will then move to the next set of legal enforcement measures. That includes issuing of warrants to level goods and assets, placing lien on their property, and where applicable, we'll pursue further legal action, which can lead to imprisonment. We don't want to go there.
In one case, one defaulter owes over $8 million. Longsworth noted that the total outstanding taxes are over $300 million. She explained that some taxpayers make payment arrangements. The first time a defaulter list was published was in 2023. And that's the end of the morning news update. We take a small break. We come back to begin the conversation. Hope you're all ready to get in. And forward we go with Belize's premier morning conversation right after this break.
Informative, accurate, current information. KHMHA's newscast. Local, regional, and international news. Weather and sports.
At Atlantic Bank, we stand as more than just a financial institution. We are your partners in progress, dedicated to fostering your success by providing tailored solutions to micro, small, and medium enterprises. Your successes are our triumphs, and every success story deserves to be celebrated. We pledge to stand by you every step of the way. Today, we celebrate the values that define you with your unwavering dedication. steadfast commitment, boundless innovation, resolute work ethic, and unyielding ambition. We will navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and continue building the future together.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
Imagine getting rewards for your spending. Smart prepaid customers countrywide, it's time to level up with Smart Gains. Smart Gains are exclusive, limited time offers sent straight to your phone. We're talking irresistible rewards. You'll actually want extra credit, bonus data, and exclusive perks, all tailored to you. Because at Smart, we've always got your back. Don't miss out on rewards made just for you. Smart Gains, Smart Savings, Smart You. Smart, bringing people together.
In 2024, the Belizean diaspora took over Los Angeles with the first ever Belize Diaspora Summit, and you know the only thing that could be ever better than that is to do it again. Belize Diaspora Summit 2.0. This time it takes place in the state of Florida, Fort Lauderdale Board Convention Center, July 10th, the 11th, the 12th. Belizeans from the diaspora, Belizeans from home in Belize, join together. Let's do it again. 3 days, government services, clinics, business displays, kitty corner, pop-up trivias, panel discussions. There will be highlights for business mixers. There will be a live performance of Racindio. Destiny Wagner is going to be there. There's going to be a live performance of Makobi. And you will have Immigration and Civil Rights Town Hall. Special guest Kenneth Gibson, interview and book reading. There will be a wind-up reception, rhythms and rum. It's happening, Police Dashboard 2.0, Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Board Convention Center. Don't miss it.
XTV Wake Up Believes Morning Vibes. Mose, Hyde in the house on this Tuesday morning, and we welcome you back. It's time to start the conversation. All you need to do is to give us a call. The number is 280-5848. That is the direct line for you to participate in the conversation. We love when you jump in. We thank you all for listening, watching, and LinkedIn. To our people on YouTube, we ask again, give us the strength of what we call an official relationship by subscribing to our YouTube channel, Facebook. We again urge you, it doesn't cost a cent to make the relationship official, but it strengthens us, and what strengthens us then comes back to you and strengthens you. So it's a circle. We ask you to close that circle today, not tomorrow. Become an official YouTube subscriber and link and follow on Facebook. XTV Belize. We have our first call of the morning. Krem, good morning.
Brother Mose, good morning.
Mr. Torres.
My brother, you dress up like you just come from the caves. Yeah. Jamaica.
What's going on, Brother Torres? Good seeing you the other day.
Yes, always. Something that's very scary. I don't know what.
I don't see you a lot. I don't see you a lot by Westland River there anymore. You seem not to be stationed there at your public office, sir. Hello. Brother Torres, I don't know what has happened to you. Have you forgotten how to use a phone? I see you're still linked in, but I'm not hearing you. All right. Brother Torres, I don't know what happened to your device. I will assume it's yours and not mine. I hope so. You try to sort it out and then link us back. It's been a long time, so we're not annoyed by you. Sometimes you get annoying, but not today. It's good hearing from you. This is WUB, Wake Up Believes Morning Vibes, where we don't want to talk to ourselves, and we not going to preach. Going for reason, enjoy our conversation, be uplifted by conversation, be informed by conversation, being made aware by conversation. Krem, good morning, WUB.
I don't know, I feel like that my phone will happen at the upgrade. You play a dancer in the flip to touch that button and Lordy, they kinda leave the chicks there, say, you don't know what for press. But it's never too late then, say, Brother Mose, my friend. So I am known calling various shows. What happened in Jerry tea there? I got my coffee. Yes, I'm a get sick, my friend. The bloody thing, how I name, where mosquito bite, dengue.
Oh.
Man, you send me in for 4 nights in the hospital, your friend nearly gone.
Oh.
But the good lad say, hold on to us, you the power mission, don't go home yet.
Yeah, right now I have my cologne name off. I don't care who bothered by the smell, and I don't care who think that I'd be unbelievers. And I say, by the families, no one about no mosquito, no tourists. Listen to me. Don't tell me no nonsense. Right now, mosquito Christmas there. Then come yam for the version of turkey and ham, and that name me and you. So right now I have on I smell the aromatic. Smell me right, Cliff? Smell me right?
When we ban on the first time, then they watch with it. We don't use cologne, normal and sweet soap. Yeah, but true. I like how you frame it.
Yeah, I've had that before, and it's not and it is a very, listen, it is an underrated danger. Dengue is not given the respect that it has earned. Dengue deadly as hell, brother.
I'm with you.
It could kill you, and it has killed. And if it not kill you, it still backs you, punch you, trip you down, mash you up. Boy, watch out. Dengue is no ordinary thing. I don't care who go on as if they don't worry about no dengue and they get bite up and don't care about that. I tell you no. Not trust mosquito. Mosquito are the most deadly creatures on earth. With that said, Taurus, that's not why you call. Go ahead, sir. Oh, your phone again, brother. Your phone again. Good morning, WB.
I decided for God and yes, the original.
Oh, your landline. Okay, you're one of the few who still have that, no?
Yes, man. It's so convenient and man, you could talk all night. That's the beauty with the J, you know. You could talk all night and it costs you one penny. And weekends and you could talk home phone.
Yeah, but then enough for young people, Taurus, talk all night. That young people do that. What's going on with you, Taurus?
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks for reminding.
All right.
Sometimes I slip up. We're not perfect. Yeah,
all right.
That's what once. If you're okay. Yeah. Then go on saying what? Then go on saying we say habits difficult to change. And good habits begin from your inception of birth. From then mom started training you and discipline you. No make nice visit the neighbor, the sleep and not the honk your hand, you wake up the neighbor or you sit tranquility, exercise it, you come down here and you see you sense that tranquility, that peace, exercise it. But we were misled, and I keep saying it, Brother Mose, since 1962, I can vouch in the area of road traffic. From we take over self-governance to me, and I keep singing it, my friend, and if they will get back with me, what can I do? I know I sit down there and say, they treat the dead. I know I do something, use fertilizer for give them and bring them back to life. As I said, I have two habits in life. On road, you have safe and unsafe. And in order for you, this is Taurus experience doing traffic from 53. Okay? Say, in order for you to be one safe and good driver, Brother Mose, depends on getting good instructions from the very start. I did sing it for years. We like blame the road, we like blame the this, but we never blame the one behind the wheel. May it be two-wheel bicycle, two-wheel motor vehicle, motorcycle, or four-wheel vehicle, cars, trucks, etc. You see? But
I will throw you I will throw you a bone, Taurus.
What? The picture? Ernesto Torres, Lord.
I will throw you a bone. I would actually I would actually indulge a little bit, but I believe I think there's a level of importance to indulging because of just the sheer. You are right. So we lose a lot of people. I don't know that it's always bad drivers. I do concede to you that there are bad drivers, and even good drivers make mistakes. But I feel that enough care and common sense, as you would say, and focus has not been put in into creating an environment that improves road safety. It's been talking and been some commercials here and there. There's been some money spent on putting lighting on the side of the road, lines. These things matter. But I was I had gone to Florida, and I was driving past with a friend where I saw an entire compound and they had these courses, and like when I say courses, not courses we take at school, but you know, one route within the compound, and cones and all kind of things. And then I saw a bunch of people, not a bunch, you had about like maybe like 8 to 10 individuals, and they had motorbikes. And so I asked a friend that I was with, like, what's that? And he said, oh, that's the motorbike, you know, you say motorbike college, but that is the motorbike training that you have to do if you want to drive a motorbike on here in Miami. I was like, so you can't drive a motorbike? Yes, he said that you have to do that, and so much hours, and then you have to pass, and only then you could get on a motorbike. And I'm saying to myself, brother, a normal functioning society faced with the elevating level of motorbike usage, because that is happening, is a direct outcome of the high gas price.
Yes.
And so,
yes.
And also the cost of motor vehicles. Cost of motor vehicles high,
yes.
Cost of fuel high.
Yes.
If I have $4,000, I could go the one of the places I just get a motorbike, and it's cheaper, and that is why you have countries all over the world where motorbike usage, scooters and all of that is a very popular mode of transportation. The problem is that there has been a non-response to this changing reality. As if though, and it's not the only case, but it's a classic evidence of a kind of nobody at the steering wheel feeling that you get. We have had, you know, give the man credit. You did have some response coming from the now CEO in transportation, the former Commissioner Chester Williams. He had said, you know, he's going to crack down on motorbike riders, blah, 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 blah. Cool, but that is not what is required. What is required is somebody of Mr. Torres's expertise.
Man, a blessing I said on my cap. Thank you, sir.
I would never take away your expertise in traffic.
Thank you, sir.
And more than your expertise, let us give the man his flowers. You care more about traffic than young people care about likes and understand. Listen, and maybe I'm being unfair to the young, because maybe young, old, and in between care a lot about likes. So maybe I'm being unfair.
Fact.
But listen, you truly care about it. And so the fact that we just carry on whistling through the mayhem is really disturbing. Like, I was kind of, you know what, I felt, I feel one way. When I say that, I don't like why we know how that, like, and why, I know, I was kind of like, man, I have one talk show, like, you know, this is something where, as you're saying, we got, you know, I lost a very good veteran, and one of these is, you know, bright young Punta Rock artist, a motorbike accident. Like, this is a no-brainer. But again, it's easy to ignore you. It's easy to ignore this. Like, this is not a hype on anybody's radar. But it is the kind of thing where you pay and provide all the benefits that you provide to people who are in power. They are required to think about the big things, the middle things, the small things, but especially about our well-being. And the mayhem on the highway is a well-being issue. It is a wellness issue. I think it's a health and wellness issue, just like dengue, and we want to see the adequate response. So I indulge a little bit with it. Give me an opportunity to drop the one in. I feel that there should I felt it. I don't know how you feel, but there should be a motorcycle training venue. Motorbike owners should be required to do the hours in that training, and nobody should be on a motorbike. Even the ones, not grandfather anybody in, even the ones who are presently who don't got a motorbike on, even they have to submit themselves to that process to continue their upon the road. For me, it is, listen, to assume that somebody will know if ride on bicycle, and a lot of people ride bicycle and don't know if ride bicycle neither. Because you could ride on bicycle, you could ride on motorbike in the road. Nonsense. Nonsense.
What happened is, enjoy your tea.
Much time you tell me that too. See, this is where you start getting annoying. Like, stop telling me every time drink me water, enjoy your tea, man. Get to your...
My bad. You see how it's difficult to change your custom to when you do so that tea you drink.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
My pardon, it will not happen again, sir. What happened in our beautiful, lovely Belize? I will never leave this for nada. And I want to go to check for my other shopping. We got everything here. All the friends in there, everything. Yeah. What happened in our little Belize, or in this part of the corner in the globe? We learned something from the early beginning prior to independence, and we continued passing it on. And if it never good, today we feel the brunt. It the telephone we know, it the hand we know, because I know one accident they happen again. That in the hundreds, because we pass on unsafe driving habits, because from the inception, I mean a police, my great brother, for 10 years, I used to do police enforcement, never know how the rules of the road may look. I take over the so-called licensing authority that I convert to traffic department with its own law enforcement agencies, all right? And I never versed with the rules of the road. I began getting qualified, or began to specialize myself in 1993 when they started to put their circles and they started to put most road streets like Central American Boulevard. And from then I said that we misleading the public, and I was part and parcel of it. I sing it on the show a billion times. Ever since we began placing these circles at T intersections, allow me, Brother Mose, like let's say Coney Drive into Princess Margaret Drive. That's a T intersection. We have to meet. They not cross like the Boulevard and Mahogany. That one direct use in accordance or within the spirit of the rules of the road. When I come to Princess Margaret Drive from Coney Drive or wherever onto Princess Margaret Drive, I must give way to vehicle on the left and on the right. Not only that, how do you know, Brother Mose, that Princess Margaret Drive and Central American Boulevard and Mahogany and Central American Boulevard extension, that then a major road, and the last way you forgive way to vehicles on such major road from the left and from the right? Where is a sign with the M? All you need the M. You don't need sign to tell you stop. The rules of the road, they legally demand how you use the road. You don't need one sign. It said give way or do not obstruct. We don't know these things. In the panel written there. And if there exists no diagram, no illustration, nothing something where tourists they prepare from 1981, 82, then still they give 4 decades. I am still part and parcel of misleading the public. This is what happened. What I want to share with you before you take over again, Brother Mo. This guy at Hattieville from Nazarene School make one left turn, and the bus run over. Then how the bus fall? That you turn in on one road or you proceed from one road into another road, you get in on my way, you obstruct me. The same thing happened at Belmopan with one motorcycle like maybe 6 weeks ago. This vehicle they go straight and motorcycle turn left in front of her, roll over and kill her. You see, then burden the drivers with problems.
Yeah.
At that point, but all began with this so-called roundabout. That when you turn left on the northern road, when they call highway, poorly believes, when they call highway, not legally defined. How you drive on road and how you drive on highway, we don't know. But I left Belize City and I'm going to Chetumal Bridge. And you where they come from, up north, from Corazon, they tell you that you forgive me way. because I in the roundabout. When they tell that law is, my brother, that's how they kill we. Because we get accustomed that left turns have priority over the one going straight or turning right.
Actually, I would disagree with you and thank you, but you can check into this. I had mentioned some last year, about mid-year sometime last year. I'm sure it was last year because of just the high number of motorcycle-related fatalities. I had checked in and found out that worldwide, this is based on research, that one of the premier reasons or situations that caused motorcycle fatalities was that very same maneuver, the movement of motorbikes from out of the right lane, going left. It was responsible for a huge number of fatalities. So. And maybe it is made worse, I would concede, by the fact that we have this situation with the roundabouts. But again, tourists, I recognize your expertise. I salute. I indulged a little bit. Good hearing from you, sir.
My brother, before I leave, just a few words. I-73.
Yes, sir.
Good. And first time in my life, I feel so blessed with that language you expressing. Thanks.
All right, my brother. Do have a great Tuesday, my brother. All right, this is WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. The telephone number is 280-5848. That's the live line for you to participate in the conversation on this Tuesday morning, 24th of June, 2025. And remember, you know how to talk about what somebody else talk about, and you know how to talk about what I talk about. You could bring your own thing. I want to stop you. That's how it works here. So, one of the, or it's the, before I go anyway, like I, as a citizen of planet Earth, hope that the ceasefire between Israel and Iran lasts. I don't know if it will. I don't have a high level of optimism that it will. But I do hope it does. And I hope that man's inclination to war and violence to solve their matters, I hope that they find a better way. That's all I could do. But they are not big people, big powers with big guns. And I'm always reminded of the words of that were performed by Bob Marley but were written by Haile Selassie. Words that really, I believe, are as true then as they are now, that until the philosopher withholds one race superior is eliminated, there's always going to be war. Let me just come home. I do care, I do feel like what happens there is related to home, our well-being, and that we don't need another layer of burden and pain. We are monk. Been adding on at a great pace, and we're seeing where there is a growing level of you would say a divide, a difference going on with the government of Belize and its workforce. I said yesterday in my interview with the senator representing business that this represents a very serious crisis. And I essentially said that it's not a crisis that we spectate on because we have skin in the game. You don't have to be a member of a union, you don't have to be a teacher, you don't have to be a public servant, you don't have to be in government. The dispute, industrial dispute, is a national matter, and we are all connected to it. And we now find out yesterday that the situation with the union that represents the workers of the KHMH, the nation's premier medical institution, Fui Hospital, as we've called it, remains in a stalemate, remains at an impasse as it relates to the pension rights and the pension benefits that the nurses and people who staff who work at KHMH are fighting for. Simultaneously, while that is going on, we know that the obvious one that we all know about, of course, is our teachers and our public servants demanding a salary adjustment. We know that we have the union that represents the staff and members at the University of Belize are also challenging for their benefits. And it is not a manufactured reality. This is not leaders voicing something that is not being felt by their members. And what is extraordinary about, I hate using a word to make it sound like it's entertaining or something, but what has to be recognized is how different this is. Our elected leaders, the government, who, in my view, seem to have a view of the struggle and the demands and the fight of the workers, they seem to have a view that they're offended by it. They're annoyed by it, and maybe even angered by it. I don't know. But they seem not to in their rhetoric, what they've put out, they've said, listen, they try to block the country, we're wrong, and what have you, and they have kind of vilified some of the leaders, especially the president of the PSU. Leadership requires wisdom, and it requires a big view. And I think what the government of Belize, and I can't tell them what to do, but I am asking them to take a moment and look at where we are, because what is undoubtedly incredible is that you have a crisis of this magnitude a couple months after a huge landslide victory. This government, this elected administration just had this huge electoral victory in March. And they are faced with an angry, disgruntled, and really genuinely high level of just anxiety, and facing with their economic realities. Their workforce is saying, we need to secure our economic justice. And this is happening. The UN government cannot possibly say, well, this is being brought together by the opposition party. This is one time in all previous versions of unrest coming out of the workforce, all administrations say, well, the opposition, they cook this. This is one time it cannot be said that the opposition, they bring this together. The opposition has been unable to bring its own self together. So what we see forming, coalescing, coming together, all these worker representative organizations, unions coming together and demanding what they're demanding, is an organic moment. You cannot This is a one time. I'm sure that the opposition wishes, have their own wishes, and like that's the nature of opposition. And likes it when a elected government in a problem. But that's just par for the course. You can try to say, well, some of the members might have the party political loyalty. That is always the case. People can't just get up one day and say they don't like who they like. But this, as far as any honest analysis goes, you can't say where they happen here. The coming out of the brain trust of the opposition party, because they can't even get over their own self at this point in time. So the government should be trying to understand, well, what happened here? What has led to this? Since it is, you are facing essentially a extremely high level crisis, because nobody in the country wants to see this situation deteriorate to a point where the workforce has to make very serious decisions to try to get your attention. If you are of the view where you're dismissive, where you feel like these people are being, your workforce, they're being unfair, and you maybe are dismissive and you think, oh, that's just some UDP heads. Again, this is just opinion. You will make this crisis bigger, because you will be acting in a way where we present one level of arrogance and one level of I got no respect for where they feel and where they come with, because this no organic. And I am of the absolute conviction that what is going on here is organic and different than previous instances, because again, and to some extent, to try to figure out our workforce, all of our workforce, the people who teach in our classrooms, the people who are responsible for running the public service, that's the nation's workforce. They are standing up and fighting for economic stability. So what's going on? That's what you are required to really and truly reflect on when you're in a position of leadership. We cannot accept you feeling, well, I have the position of might, I have the position of power, so I can push back on that. I can just paint a picture that you're selfish and you are unfair and you're unjust and where you want. That doesn't work here. But I have a call. Krem, good morning, WUB.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I want to say something, but I don't know how it starts. But I'll start like this. I noticed the 3 different times, 1984 to 1989, what the government should do in 1984, we really don't do. And at the end of 1989, he left all the things where he's supposed to pay the people, for the other one pay him, pay the one way, pay the people, Then when you look again now, the other one win 89, and say, I want to see if I could pay you. But you well left here for I do not no kind of money there in, not much in the pipeline. Then again they put out in. And like boom, 1993 they come out, he do a lot of things and left the people money for them get it. Who win 93, then we win back there and we say, okay, so money here. But when he get in back 93 now, he got the UDP, you know. When he get in back 93 now, he said, whoa, but he not left nothing there, not at all. And the people say, yes, man. No, not there anyway. I'll give on next year. At the end of 98 now, he said, no, I want my money now. He said, what I will do, I will give you money, but I will fire you. Because things they go bad. I fired him. He fired 500 plus 96, and by 98 he fired 8 change. So by the end of 98 they got nearly 1,200 people on fire. So the election come and the other one get in back 98. And when he get in back 98, he said, fine, the man is not here for you, but I will say what I could give on. And that one do 10 years. He joined this, he joined that, I 93 to 98. The people gonna get one lot of money, borrow money, and mortgage and all kind of thing, and got house and thing, and boom, they get fire 98. So now the man will take back 9, where they get in 98, now say, why but I have to use you to do this thing, because I use to do the job. Go back to your work, man. Hire back all now. Boom. Now look now. 2008 they come now. I will let everything for you now. One, he said, when he get in back now, the UDP now, when he get it back 2008 now, he said, not less here. Then I say that again, like 2003, you know. I said that 84 too. But he said it now 2008, not there. Yes, he did it. He said, anyway, I will give it 2009. I went 2009 and said, where the money there? We never make
Let me ask you this, brother. I hear you. Let me ask you this. Do you feel that the nation's workforce, or teachers, or public servants, or people at KHMH, do you believe that, and for that matter, most people who are working class and middle class, do you believe that people are feeling economic pressure and stress at a high level?
Meaning if they get paid or they got money, they got a job.
So you don't believe they're feeling economic stress? Okay.
Oh no, because they got a job.
Okay. Well, I hear you. I have to respect that. That's how you see it.
Yeah, because they got a job.
When I come back from the break, we could look upon that. But I have a second break. Thank you for the call. This is WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. We go to 2 Cents Scam, sponsored by 4 Point Security. We'll be right back.
You're watching WB, and this is XTV, and I gotta say big respect to our sponsors, 4 Point Security. Now, guess what? The mango season, everybody like mango, but you know people like eat, and even know the name of the mango name. So guess what? We're gonna find out from some people in 2 cents, the name of the 2 mango ya, and anybody could tell me the name of the 2 mango ya, get $2. Let's go. Cause we don't like eat mango, but we don't know the name of the mango name. This apple mango.
This one apple mango.
You sure?
Yeah.
You're sure?
Yes.
You're positive?
Yes.
All right. And this one?
And this one
beef. You don't. You don't know nothing. Watch it good. But eat the mango for years.
Hold this one. Yeah. Come on, mango, hidden.
No. Good. What type of mango this mango? Watch it good, because this mango is long. For your small.
Here the mango.
Huh?
Here the mango.
No. Where is it?
Here the mango.
All right. Where this one? I don't want to smell it. If you smell it, you know it.
I know smell it.
If you smell it, you know it. Where this one?
Costa del. Here the mango.
You just say if that belly full.
That belly full?
That belly full. Oh, this one, yeah.
The one look ahead?
Yeah, the one correct. The one, this one correct. You tell me, watch it good. Watch it first one.
I don't want to
tell me your 2 cents.
What are the break? I think the apple mango and cherry mango. Right?
You get this one not correct, but this one on here. Got it. Tell me your 2 cents. Which one do you think?
Black mango.
No. Mango, yeah.
That here.
I don't want to smell it. If you smell it, you know that what.
Hidden.
This one, yeah?
Yeah.
Next one, what?
Like a number 11.
No. No. So for all my 2 cents followers and fans, it look like they don't know the name of the mango, yeah. All right? Apple mango and common mango. Easy as that. So guess what? If I'm wrong, you guys comment below. All right? And then tell me what you think. Let me show the 2 mango there again. Can you ever believe that eat mango and I don't know the name of the mango there? 1, 2. Comment below. Like I say, what you guys are going to say.
In 2024, the Belizean diaspora took over Los Angeles with the first ever Belize Diaspora Summit, and you know the only thing that could be ever better than that is to do it again. Belize Diaspora Summit 2.0. This time it takes place in the state of Florida, Fort Lauderdale Board Convention Center, July 10th, the 11th, the 12th. Belizeans from the diaspora, Belizeans from home in Belize, join together. Let's do it again. 3 days, government services, clinics, business displays, kitty corner, pop-up trivias, panel discussions. There will be highlights for business mixers. There will be live performance. Racindio, Destiny Wagner is going to be there. There's going to be a live performance of Makobi. And you will have Immigration and Civil Rights Town Hall. Special guest Kenneth Gibson, interview and book reading. There will be a wind-up reception, rhythms and rum. It's happening, Belize Diaspora 2.0, Florida, Fort Lauderdale Board Convention Center. Don't miss it.
Whether the job is big or small, every super handy dad needs the right tools. And at Brothers Habet and Habet, we have what you need. Enjoy super savings all June like 15% off all power tools and hand tools, 25% off track car batteries, Eureka Vats, and Pisaforte towels, 25% off Penta Decon and discontinued colors, 30% off Valspar, and 40% off Dutch Boy paints. Plus, we're giving away $200 to 6 lucky super handy dads. Every $50 you spend gets you a chance to win. So this year, give Dad his best gift yet from Brothers Habet and Habet. Come in or reach out today. Happy Father's Day to all super handy dads.
At Atlantic Bank, we stand as more than just a financial institution. We are your partners in progress, dedicated to fostering your success by providing tailored solutions to micro, small, and medium enterprises. Your successes are our triumphs, and every success story deserves to be celebrated. We pledge to stand by you every step of the way. Today, we celebrate the values that define you with your unwavering dedication, steadfast commitment, boundless innovation, resolute work ethic, and unyielding ambition. We will navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and continue building the future together.
Imagine getting rewards for your spending. Smart prepaid customers countrywide, it's time to level up with Smart Gains. Smart Gains are exclusive, limited time offers sent straight to your phone. We're talking irresistible rewards. You'll actually want extra credit, bonus data, and exclusive perks, all tailored to you. Because it's Smart, we've always got your back. Don't miss out on rewards made just for you. Smart Gains, Smart Savings, Smart You. Smart, bringing people together.
Tired of appliances that just don't last? Appliances that just can't keep up? It's time for a change. GE Appliances delivers reliability, innovation, and performance you can trust. The decision is easy. Don't settle for less. Choose quality, choose reliability, choose GE. Paid for by homeowners who demand better appliances.
World shifts to regional supply chains, Belize is poised to lead. This is where blue innovation meets green ambition, and orange creativity thrives. Join us for the Belize Investment Summit 2025, September 3rd to 5th at the Sunset Carib in San Pedro. From agribusiness to aquaculture, from renewable energy to digital services, from tourism to trade, this is the future of regional integration, and it starts here. Whether you're returning home, expanding regionally, or entering new markets, Belize welcomes you. Why Belize? Why now? Belize Investment Summit 2025, Bridging Markets, Building Resilience, September 3rd to 5th at Sunset Carib, San Pedro. Visit investmentsummit.bz to register and be part of shaping the investment frontier.
Alright, welcome back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Mose, Hyde in the house with you on this Tuesday morning, and as always, this is a conversation-based show, and so we invite you and expect you and enjoy when you call in. The number to call is 280-5848. One of the biggest topics, obviously, is the matter of the trade industrial dispute between the public workers and the government of Belize. And so we spent some time on that before we came to break, and we had a caller kind of put together his own analysis of it, which, you know, that's a part of it. That's how he sees it, that it's a matter of this is something that represents a long legacy of he looks at it through a party political spin, and he sees one party as being the problem and another party as being a victim of the problem. No, I do not agree. He also, when asked if he believes that the public workers or teachers, public servants, whether or not they have an economic struggle or strain going on, and his view is once you have one job, you don't have an economic struggle. Krem, good morning, WUB.
Hello, good morning, brother Mose.
Good morning, sir.
I listened to the show, I don't call it, you know. I like give people opportunity to call it. And I always say, Mose, everybody input is important, regardless of political party or whatever, no party politics at all. And everybody's opinion is important.
Yeah.
But I listened to the brother just now, and you asked me a question if you believe like the public officers, the teachers and things. They go through any financial problem, like things not the box today, like everything alright, you know, if you actually are raised. And the brother said no, because they have a job. But if he call back, I can't question her, you question her. Ask him if he believes the CEOs that have a job and is getting paid handsomely need a raise. Then I call back, you have seen that. Because you look at taking the buck with them also and they need one raise. So they have a job, then they get paid good. And yet they get one 15 or 18.5% raise. So ask the fella that whenever he calls back.
All right.
Good morning, brother Mose.
Give thanks. So I've had, let me put out a disclaimer before I get deeper into this conversation. Full disclosure, I am a biased speaker on this matter. I spent, as you all know, most of you know, I spent almost 6 years at the helm of a union. And so I have many affiliations and friendships with people who are very much involved with unions, and I have tremendous respect, and I have a union bias, right? But we all have biases. I try my best to be very conscious of my biases and try my best to speak not in defense of that bias, but I think it's appropriate to acknowledge it. I don't believe, I am not of the opinion, I'm very confident that in searching for an understanding of a thing, it's not just to find something that fits for me. It's to try to understand a thing for the purpose of understanding it. And so this situation, for which I can't be a spectator, requires you have to say, okay, how you see. I feel that when the pandemic struck us in 2020, right on this show, we had serious conversations, and caller, let me just finish this point. Let me just take the call. I really want to finish this point. I take the call. Krem, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Mose. Can you hear me loudly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, hi, good morning, Belize. Mose, quickly this morning, I want to touch on two comments that I saw in the news. On Friday, I noticed that Minister Andre Perez was questioned about the exorbitant rental rate that his ministry is paying for a building that had previously cost $4,500 and is now costing $14,000. My granny used to tell me, it is better to remain quiet and be thought a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubts. And I think that is wise advice. The brother went on to say, well, this happened a long time, man. Why they never said this 10 years ago? My brother, it is being pointed out If we had an open government, this would have been pointed out. But because we do not have open government, we have to rely on public officers in your ministry to leak out these type of information, which should be public information. He was unable to justify that ridiculous contract that the Ministry of Public Service had signed with that landlord, whose relative would have reached out to me to say, and I challenged them to say that they were prepared to disclose their bank statements, whereby $14,000 is not going into their bank statement. And I challenged them. I said that I want serious allegation. So if you're not serious, send me the bank statement to show how much money is going on the bank account, and then we can then blow this thing up further, because we already know, Mose, that that building does not cost $14,000. What upsets me, Father, as a citizen, as a taxpayer like everybody else in this country, is that no other than the Minister of Public Service would have granted, I believe, Channel 5 an interview yesterday, and in the same vein attempt to shove this $14,000 contract and that $22,000 contract in Belmopan under the rug. Then he goes on to say, well, when he made the rent to $4,500, it was a residential building. Now that we rent it our commercial building, so the space gone up. It makes absolutely no sense. The square footage did not go up. The building is the same building. And I dare say, because government is so corrupt, they not only rent these residential quarters, but they refurbish them themselves, so they don't even tax the homeowners to do the partitions. No, this is another way how they give people contracts. So how in the world, my brother, can the building cost $4,500 and within the blink of an eye when government takes it over to $14,000? I want to bring the Belizean people attention to something to help guide the young Minister of Public Service, if I can refer to him as a young minister. The Social Security Board and the government of Belize are engaging in a PPP to build office complexes on Chatamal Street. You know that there were 2 buildings to be funded. The Social Security and the government and Belize say, you know what, for this thing to work, we will have to pay a premium rate per square footage. And that premium rate will be $4 per square foot. So when the minister gets on TV and thinks that he's talking to a bunch of fools, as the saying goes, fool the talk, fool not the listen. So all the minister could have said, man, what are the rate of square foot? We already know that call centers are paying between $250 to $350. That is what they're saying. So trying to say that then the competent call centers is utter nonsense. Just for the PPP building on Chatamal Street, for it to be a viable project, government was prepared to pay a premium rate of $4 per square foot. And when we look at that building could only be, I don't even know if that building is 3,500 square foot, but that would be the equivalent of the 14,000 at a premium rate of $4, which clearly that building does not command a premium rate, as government was prepared to pay the Social Security to ensure the PPP. So I want the Belizean people to know that they have to listen to these politicians and call them out when they take us for a bunch of fools. And I'm calling again this morning on the Auditor General, on the Contractor General. We need an analysis of all these rental contracts, and I want to thank public officers who are coming forward to make these disclosures more. And I just learned that in Dangriga, there is a favorite landlord of this administration as well. And in the case of the Fisheries Department, it is my understanding that we're paying for a building that is not even being used in Dangriga. As a matter of fact, the public officers would have disclosed that for months there was no light or water in the building when the contract was signed. And so the building was just sitting there, paying rent, similar to the airport contracts, with nobody utilizing that. It is my understanding that they've now put in light and water after many complaining to the landlord in Dangriga, and they pretty much have all them buildings in Dangriga. And I can say to you,
Is
that
it
will not let
is it an unfair expectation, Brother Dean, for us to say that these matters should not only come to light in the midst of a trade dispute, but that these information should be provided and disclosed? Because as you conceded when you started to speak, that we don't have an open government, but ultimately we know that our public servants are have the access, have the proximity to be aware of these things. And is it a fair expectation that they are forthcoming with it, not only when there is a trade dispute?
And I think, and I'm hoping, Mose, that they're listening to that question. Because this is what we're saying from the 2-3 years when we were championing the whistleblower legislation, that public officers, you have a moral and an ethical and a social responsibility to point out corruption, to point out abuse of government resources, to point out when there are danger in the health sector, these undervalued medication or non-effective medication for which we're paying premium price. We've been saying that for years, and I want to say to the Belizean people, do not be looking at the public officers as some strange set of creatures who come from space. Public officers, that your auntie, that your uncle, that your mom, that your father, that your brother, that your sister, that your cousin. And it speaks volume about the type of family and communities in which we are raised. So it's a direct reflection of each of us. So let's not be pointing fingers, Belizeans. Let's ask ourselves, what are we to teach with cousins, with daughter, with sister, with brother, with mom, with pop, to do the right thing, to report corruption when they see, to whistleblow on threats to public health, to whistleblow on grass abuses in the public sector. We have to do our part individually.
Let me ask, well, not ask. For me, the comments made by Minister Perez on the matter of the rent matters not what they, if they feel that it's justified, that they're getting value for money insofar as square footage. I don't know much about what the going rate for commercial square footages for rent. I think what really struck me, and I spoke about it yesterday, was that I don't understand how you can tell me that it makes business sense, it makes dollars and cents sense to rent at a cost of $24,000 per month, the accumulated amount of rental that you're doing, which would represent $250,000 per year, which means that in a 5-year period, you're looking at over $1 million easy in rent. You can get really nice buildings for $1 million.
Yeah.
And so the argument that this represents the best that we can do, that you could feel so comfortable to say, like, anybody that has, and I think when I was speaking to Senator Hero yesterday, he made the point that that not only does it make sense, but the fact that they have the funds to be able to invest in these things at a lower rate than a business person would in trying to get a loan from the bank. We are talking here about the government of Belize. So the addiction to this kind of pork fat is disgusting because it is consistent, but now we have reached a point where you're actually comfortable to come and tell us that this is an acceptable thing. You can't make an argument for that. You can't make an argument for the fact that we have not seen where it's going to save taxpayers a bunch of money if we become committed to investing in our own buildings. You're really and truly can't go wrong to do that. And so I don't know how you could become comfortable in defending that. That makes no sense to me. It's outrageous.
You're perfectly right. And it must be said that even the Honorable Usher last night said, well, because the question was asked, man, why government not try to build them building, man? Well, you know what, one good office building one cost you $3 million, he said. And then he said, you know, and we can't, somebody can't just find, we could find the money monthly, but we can't find one lump sum. It's like, brother, are you really listening to yourself? The government, I believe, if it does not have the liquid cash, can easily issue treasury bills or treasury bonds against that, so that the Belizean people or Belizean businesses can into that and utilize those funds raised. The easiest entity that could raise capital is the government, I believe. And the easiest entity that could borrow money that the government, I believe. So I'm really disappointed that these elected representatives continue to look at the entire Belizean population as a bunch of fools who are not paying attention. I think that it's very important that we call them out each and every time, and that they understand. Nothing is personal against you all. Nobody have one issue with UNO. People have one issue with the corrupt behavior that you're exhibiting, and the fact that you attempt to defend your corrupt behavior when you stood on a platform and you pledged to do better for this country. That is the issue that we have.
I wanted to say just when you called that when the because I wanted to express my what makes me feel the way I feel, or makes me understand completely where the public workforce stands today. Because I can't just have a position based on I'm a Dana the union movement, so I naturally have to just wave the flag. And so while I, for full disclosure, conceded to everybody, I know you guys have been in the movement. I understand struggling for improved benefits for your workers. But for me, I go back to 2020 when the pandemic struck, and our conversation then was that while this is economic catastrophe, what it has given us is an opportunity for us to fix the deformities within our structures and our system, because we are paying the price. Everybody is paying a price, so we have to for us to fix. And I be honest, Belize's economic model is similar in many ways to a Ponzi scheme. And in a Ponzi scheme, you have your always, it has the appearance that people are getting benefits because it is consuming it is consuming benefits based on increasing risk and punishment down the road to those who are to come in. So it's bringing in people, and then the people at the very top are able to walk away with benefits, and then it needs new people to bring in, and you go down and down and down and down the road. In the case of a nation, it's from one generation to the next. So I feel there are similarities to our economic model to a Ponzi scheme. And just like the most famous Ponzi scheme of them all, the Madoff Ponzi scheme, it was only exposed when you had the 2008 financial collapse. Then it stood out. So then it was, okay, something is wrong here. What we have here, what we had in 2020, was the Ponzi scheme got exposed. And we were tasked, if we were to address the fallout from the pandemic, we were tasked to look at the inherent fault lines and unfairness and a dysfunction within our model and say, we are paying a price, let us fix it. And that would include, we spent many mornings, and I'm sure there were some mornings when you were part of those conversations, Dean. We spent many mornings saying, if we are to come out of this, we cannot just find what we call to be the easiest people for put the sacrifice on. That if we are to go through the trauma of change, one of the first commitments we have to have is that we have to distribute sacrifice and burden and pain equally and justly. We can't just say, oh, and at the time, what we did to come out of that trauma is that the public servant were asked to give more proportionately, and the argument was that, well, the businesses have already suffered, this has already suffered, so now we have to. So the argument was made that it was that the only people who were not carrying suffering and sacrifice was the public workforce. We argued that that was not true. In fact, while indeed in the matter of, say, people who were heavily invested in tourism, yes, it was really bad. But with closed borders, there was a lot of financial bonanza available to retail businesses because no money could be going out of the borders. We identified that indeed the pandemic has really set back a number of people from middle class status in the twinkling of an eye. Like we went through this moment, things were collapsing, and the decision was made that the public workers, you will be the ones where at least will be deliberately taxed to get us out of the pandemic. This was not just an organic thing. This was the result of a decision we will have to take from you. The public workforce was not happy about it. There was a level of protest. They were not happy about it, but overall people were like not very sympathetic to what was going on with you at that time. So now we move forward, and here comes the other companion of the pandemic called inflation. The inflation that we imported, global inflation, and you have pointed out what that represents. I think you have it at about 17 to 20% of cost of living increase. So now you have, in addition to the state saying, public workers, you will have to pay your portion of the sacrifice to get us out of this pandemic. Now here comes inflation that falls on top of that sacrifice. And again, because consumption is the way it is, the reality is that you now faced with an additional contribution to national sacrifice. And so where we are now is not the consequence of fabricated stress or fabricated fight for survival. What's going on here is that you have an equation that has remained out of balance, and you are saying that for us to continue forward, you will have to continue to carry what you are carrying, and then in the midst of that, in the midst of making this argument about sacrifice and burden, the political directorate decides to completely, it's not the only instance of it, but in a very glaring instance of just completely discarding any interest in having the moral authority on this matter, taking up their benefits. They did it before when they returned their allowances. The unions were extremely like, you guys rightfully were like, but wait, what happened to we? This is not the product of a conspiracy. This is not the product of a opposition-infused conspiracy to be anti-government, and I am making this point because if the government cannot get itself past that obvious truth, it is incapable of being a good faith partner in a negotiation. It has to understand and accept that we have a tremendously deformed, dysfunctional system. It is similar in some aspects to a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
And if we were to say, listen, well, you know, public workers' pension are a problem, and this is not a problem. If we are in the mode of refurbishing or renovating or correcting the structure of the house, we cannot pick and choose parts to fix that are convenient to us. I have a construction friend that always says to me, the one job where they don't want to do, that if you go try fix one old house where broke up.
Yeah.
Because the minute you touch one thing, you have to touch all manners of things, and then you reach a point where pardon the cost of just pick and choosing, fixing certain things defeats the purpose, when really what is needed is that once and for all you have to say, we have to put up a new structure. We made this argument in 2020 and we go back to the argument in 2025. The problems are structural, but you cannot fix only what is convenient to you and what is least impactful to you, while treating yourself to desserts and little fat on the side. It doesn't work. So if you're looking at this situation to try to figure out how did we end up here, the one thing you have to understand is that it is an organic moment. It's a moment of truth, because there has been an economic cost, a significant economic cost paid by these workers of the nation, and they are saying, well, we will not carry on that sacrifice and suffering anymore because nobody else, and including yourselves, are not about making that sacrifice. In fact, you are treating yourselves to dessert and niceties and jewels at our expense. That's what really has created what I believe to be a national crisis that is a very, very serious implications. It is not an overnight. It is not a twinkling of the eye. It is not that you or the other union representatives are trying to catch fire within your membership because you're on some agenda or more. That's not what's happening here. And I felt it important to kind of just put that out, that my position on what is going on with the public workforce is one to understand that what they're really trying to preserve and what they're really defending is what is left of the Belizean middle class. And the implications, if they don't stand up to fight, I feel that those implications are not just to themselves, the implications are for all of us if your public servant status does not anymore allow you to be a part of the middle class because your purchasing value has completely been dwindled, diluted. It's a very serious problem, and it requires great leadership, great wisdom, great understanding. You can't start out thinking that them people wrong to feel the way they feel, or to be unfair or driven by agenda, or then serve the opposition party. Like I said earlier, Brother Dean, the opposition party cannot be organizing you when it's not unable to even organize itself. So that's let's get that out the way and make this conversation, make it be about, you know, what is organic and what is just and what is legitimate. Just wanted to put that on the record, my brother.
Yeah. And I really appreciate that, Mose, and I am calling on the government to display maturity, to stop behaving like a bunch of kids. You are an organized set when it comes to fleecing and white-collar crime. You're properly organized across the public and private sector, but you're properly organized. In similar fashion, we're asking you to be properly organized and mature in addressing the deficiencies and the corrupt system that you rightly said, Mose, continue to perpetuate. And just so that the Belizean people can understand, while the average inflation rate over the last 5 years is at 17.3%, it must be said that where food is concerned, where food and non-alcoholic beverages and food combined, that is at 31.8%, and that is where the majority of Belizean has taken a hit. Can the government do more? Yes, you can do more. Yes, you can do more. You can do more because we always say the cost of fuel is what drives the inflation, and the government will say, well, we need the fuel money. You need the fuel money when it's convenient, because serious information is forthcoming, which we're doing our research on, that other players are involved in the fuel importation business outside of the large importer who would import via bulk shipping. There is serious leakages across our borders, and more importantly, our western border currently, Mose, by certain private sector actors who are in bed with preferred actors of this administration. And these are the kind of inequalities and corrupt behavior that really rubs me the wrong way, because the hypocrisy about really wanting to grow this economy in a more fair and transparent way is the farthest thing from the truth under the Briceño administration, and it needs to be called out. It will continue to be called out, and I'm calling on all right-thinking Belizeans. You have to call the airwaves. You have to speak to your air representative to say to them that we're heading in the wrong direction, that they're not doing more to create a better system of governance. Right. You have to play your role. And finally, I'm calling on all workers across this country to come out on Saturday at the NTUCB rally to understand this is a fight for Belize, this is a fight for justice, this is a fight for equity and equality. This is not a fight for only public sector unions, and this has absolutely nothing to do with politics, people. We're not aligned to any political party, and if this administration wanted to do the right thing and wanted to really inform and educate its citizens, they would have also said to the citizens that they invited the joint unions in several meetings when they were in opposition. I did not know the Hassan Dia building till the Prime Minister started paying rent for it and rent 2 units. But if the Prime Minister wants to be honest, he would say I went into that building while he was in opposition. That till afterwards I find out, oh, this is the famous Hassan Dia. But they invited media because when you are in the work of unionism, you must speak to all stakeholders. So they need to stop this confusing of the Belizean people and this deceiving of the Belizean people, and let them know this is what unions do. Unions speak to any and everybody that is prepared to listen, to understand what the social issues are, and to understand what the plight of workers are in this country.
I remember that. I
hoping
gotta go to
ultimately.
finish off, brother, because I have to go down break.
Yes, so and I'm hoping that the movement will also lead to some movement within the Ministry of Labor in terms of really trying to create a campaign that will help to organize call center workers, organize people in the hotel industry, organize and come up with some form of legislation that governs contract employment, because that is also another way that this administration, as well as the previous administration, has been using to destabilize and to weaken unions. And I think we have to get guidance on those, how we can close those loopholes to better organize workers across this country. Thanks so much. God bless Belize. Good morning, Belize.
We got to go to break. We'll be right back.
Come to Banquet, find your way. Engines roar at the break of day. Volvo outboard surf the waves. Castrol oil is what they crave. Live with power, feel the sound. Heavy machines shake the ground. Riding Honda, feeling proud. Rev it up and shout aloud. Feel the wind against your skins. Now so wide, let's begin. At Banquet, where dreams ignite. Gear up and let's take flight. Kohler's power runs our towns. JCB lifts heavy pounds. Find the tools to build your dreams. Banquet's got the best machines. Grip the wheel and never slip. Feel the rush, it's time to trip. Every brand you know and love. Banquet fits you like a glove. Feel the wind against your skins. Now so wide, let's begin. At Banquet, where dreams ignite. Gear up and let's take flight.
Banquet, equipment, parts, service. We represent quality.
Let's take a journey through the core functions of the Social Security Board. It all starts with registering as an insured person, employer, or self-employed individual. Sign up for a portal account to manage your Social Security information online. Just provide accurate information and click Create. This will give you access to a range of services and benefits. Next, your contribution, along with investments and other income, are collected and distributed into 3 funds. This ensures that the SSB fund is securely utilized to support various benefit programs. The SSB is committed to providing essential benefits such as sickness, maternity, injury, and pension. These benefits are paid out to eligible individuals as a part of the Social Security coverage. We help you navigate through life's challenges with financial security. Annual surplus accumulates to grow the fund each year. This surplus is invested into various industries, contributing to the growth and development of our nation. With each passing year, the fund continues to grow due to the annual surplus and interest revenue earned from prudent investments. This surplus, along with reserves, helps to bolster the SSB fund and provide a safety net for those in need. We've arrived at the end of our journey to better understanding how the SSB works. We remain committed to serving you and building a secure future for all Belizeans.
Whether you are a busy person or stuck in traffic or having an adverse or very demanding circumstance, tension builds up, causing you to be stressed out. Stress attacks everyone, anytime, any age. And stress is a killer. Palm City? It's best to be alive than dead. So visit Freetown Drugstore to get options to relieve stress and to relax your mind.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you today?
I'm so stressed out.
Okay, I'm saying I can help right now. When I this daily? For 10 days, I am good after that, okay?
Okay.
Freetown Drugstore, 28 Freetown Road, where you are better off alive than dead. Freetown Drugstore, telephone 223-2876.
In 2024, the Belizean diaspora took over Los Angeles with the first ever Belize Diaspora Summit, and you know the only thing that could be ever better than that is to do it again. Belize Diaspora Summit 2.0. This time it takes place in the state of Florida, Fort Lauderdale Board Convention Center, July 10th, the 11th, the 12th. Belizeans from the diaspora, Belizeans from home in Belize, join together. Let's do it again. 3 days, government services, clinics, business displays, kitty corner, pop-up trivias, panel discussions. There will be highlights for business mixers. There will be live performance. Vasindio, Destiny Wagner is going to be there. There's going to be a live performance of Makobi. And you will have Immigration and Civil Rights Town Hall. Special guest Kenneth Gibson, interview and book reading. There will be a wind-up reception, rhythms and rum. It's happening. Police Dashboard 2.0, Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Powell Convention Center. Don't miss it.
Let's all be safe during the rainy season. Belize Electricity Limited reminds you that heavy rains can cause flooding in your neighborhood and on roads. Avoid driving or walking in flooded areas, which can have hidden dangers such as debris and fallen power lines. Belize Electricity Limited cares about your safety. Please stay safe.
The WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Mose Hyde in the house with you on this Tuesday morning. And at this point, we have our weekly live report from the One Woman Protest Movement Against Hair Discrimination, chairperson of UBAD Educational Foundation, my good friend, the one and only Sister Yaya Marine Coleman. Greetings and welcome to the house, sister.
Morning, Mose. Morning, Belize. Morning, Belizeans. I left my house at about 4 minutes to 5 this morning. And I done up on North Front Street. I reached my destination, the Ministry of Education headquarters in Belize City, in a few minutes. The beautiful thing, rain never wet me, even though I had uninvited guests like mosquito. Along the way, I had my face instead of my hand and it go on bad.
Oh.
But
You
it's
like
good,
this?
Belizean
You like
people.
this? You like this? You like this little? I mean, I know you have your own show on Sunday Radio Review. You are now sitting in for Brother Nouri, and sometimes you sit in for me. You got the whole show to yourself. But I think there is something that you enjoy very much about putting these live protest reports via Zoom. It is such.
I know Chicken was every opportunity I there for in a community with people. I love it. I love it. So another 2 cents come now. So hey, this is the next best thing for me.
All right. So
When
you
I
walked
go
from
get this update.
you walked from Ladyville today.
Yes, I walk from Ladyville today.
What time you start?
Yeah, look. I got a witness. What part, tell me. What part you see me?
I saw me by banquet.
You see me by what?
Way by banquet, I think.
By banquet? You see me by banquet, the walk. What you meant to do? You meant to walk or you to ride? You meant to on the bus. And the bus could respect, brother. So I love my people like most. Aye, brother. Here campaign at the door. That's why I like it most. Yeah, they're fond of like you be like. So yes, but I go to the latest Belizean people. Yesterday, Monday, Mick 2 weeks since the Human Rights Commission of Belize, I have reached my destination, which is the Ministry of Education in Belize City headquarters on North Front Street. So yes, 2 weeks ago, the Human Rights Commission of Belize sent 2 letters to the president of the Belize National Teachers Union and the chairperson of the Belize Association of Principals of Secondary Schools. 2 weeks later, we still not get no response from the teachers representative or the principals of secondary school representative. That is not good. The teachers like say how they got to back, but right now they're not got back, no we top. I am choosing not to participate in Saturday's rally because the principals of secondary schools and the teachers, the representative of teachers of Belize National Teachers Union will respond. Now, the difference is that then they look after for their members. I get it. But they also need to be able to walk and chew chewing gum. Look after their members, then teachers and principals, and other Belizeans such as students and the families where the students come from. Belize Human Rights Commissioner Belize, they asked them what the for them position on the current here rules in our schools which are a violation of the Constitution of Belize. That's one report. The second report is that in December, UEF sent an email to the NCFC, the National Commission for Families and Children. That the entity will advise the government on policies when it comes to families and children. December, we send the letter, the email. In a me, I call and I talk to the executive director. To me, he had attitude. He said, yeah, respond to me by the end of May. I said, Sister, I send the email to you from December. I said, well, the end of May. I called twice. They said, without it going to the end of June. You know, answer. That no reflect well upon our organization. Respect, brother. One love. Somebody just like, don't worry, I had it your life. Thirdly, you know, you have to look for solidarity partners, organizations with credibility for being alliance with them. We've made our first such alliance within the Caribbean, or Trinidad and Tobago. And I hear more about it. The brother was on Sunday Review this Sunday, and his name is Brother Shabaka. And the organization where he lead be instrumental in getting the Trinidad and Tobago hair policy change. But one of the things he says, similar to what happened in the UK, while law no make people mindset and attitude and feelings change. So him they say they want to work with we so that when we advocate for the law that believes for natural hair, that we incorporate one consistent education awareness in it, because then the land from their experience. So even though Trinidad and Tobago was the second country in the Caribbean for change their hair policy, people still get discriminated against. So Angola changed their hair policy, Trinidad and Tobago changed their hair policy, Puerto Rico changed their hair law to protect employees and students. So that's the latest update. And I have to give thanks to all the Belizean people along the way. We blow their hand, holler for me, wave at me. When I get that city, I don't usually get that city this early because I stop on the road and talk to WB and I take up some time. So I take one number of pictures this morning on the boulevard. Just beautiful Belizean people with their natural hair with braids. And so I want to thank them for giving me permission to take their pictures. So that's the latest from the WUB Educational Foundation, that a consciousness, awareness component of the only Black independent media house in the country. Today is day 294 since I call in Mose Tuesday for raise awareness and hold the government of Belize, namely the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Labor, for the violate the Constitution of Belize. It's not a UEF thing, that the Constitution of Belize is being violated. All right, Mose, what want to say to me now?
Respect. I walk from Ladyville, sister. Yeah. Yo.
You know, it feel like I'm going, you know, like if I live back like somewhere like far, you have to go out at home. I just have to make up your mind and walk out at home. But sometimes it just feel like that stretch between once I cross the Ivo Akan Bridge to Publix, that stretch to feel like. Other than that, everything like beautiful for me. I get fit, and I'm thankful that I still live in one beautiful country. the Belize River means so much to me. And for the first time when I'm going to walk this morning, I say, you know what? I never going to think that the road where they walk on the Malone Bush went for we African ancestors and ancestors there. So that's sacred territory too, just like Southside Belize City. So yeah, that's why I love this piece of swamp in Belize.
All right.
Thanks, Mose.
Give thanks. It's 8:30. We good.
All of the people, I save the people.
We take a break. We'll be back.
In 2024, the Belizean diaspora took over Los Angeles with the first ever Belize Diaspora Summit, and you know the only thing that could be ever better than that is to do it again. Belize Diaspora Summit 2.0. This time it takes place in the state of Florida, Fort Lauderdale Forward Convention Center, July 10th, the 11th, the 12th. Belizeans from the diaspora, Belizeans from home in Belize, join together. Let's do it again. 3 days, government services, clinics, business displays, kitty corner, pop-up trivias, panel discussions. There will be highlights for business mixers. There will be a live performance of Rasindo. Destiny Wagner is going to be there. There's going to be a live performance of Makobi. And you will have Immigration and Civil Rights Town Hall, special guest Kenneth Gibson, interview and book reading. There will be a wind-up reception, rhythms and rum. It's happening, Belize Diaspora 2.0, Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Forward Convention Center. Don't miss it.
In Belize, we value our families, we value our communities, we value our neighbors. 90% of Belizeans think it's time for laws that protect all of us and reflect society at its best. 94% of Belizeans agree that public spaces in Belize should be more accessible to people living with disabilities. In Belize, we believe in fair treatment and supporting one another. We know that our beautiful country is at its best when we come together for the greater good. 2 out of 3 Belizeans support a new law to prevent discrimination in employment and public spaces. It shouldn't matter where we come from, who we love, or what we look like. Belizeans deserve to live our best lives. It's time for laws that protect all of us and reflect our society at its best. Equal Opportunities Bill. Belize, we're ready.
At Atlantic Bank, we stand as more than just a financial institution. We are your partners in progress, dedicated to fostering your success by providing tailored solutions to micro, small, and medium enterprises. Your successes are our triumphs, and every success story deserves to be celebrated. We pledge to stand by you every step of the way. Today, we celebrate the values that define you with your unwavering dedication, steadfast commitment, boundless innovation, resolute work ethic, and unyielding ambition. We will navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and continue building the future together.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
welcome back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. We have a call. Krem, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Mose.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, George, my video, my brother.
Yes, how are you doing, brother?
Not bad at all. Mose, I want to cut back on the previous topic in relation to the arm wrestle, the contest of will and substance between the government of Belize and the unions. I missed the early part of the show, but I kind of got on where Brother Dean Flowers was on. I think the two questions for me would be whether or not the government can accommodate the raise, the 8.5, and is unwilling to, or whether they want to but can't. I think that in either cases, one would need to look at the economic health of Belize. Where are we in terms of the economic health of Belize? Let us do a stress test. And I think that stress test would deal with two main variables. One of them is how has the performance of the government been? And one area that we look at is growth. And when you look at Belize relative to especially the English-speaking Caribbean, the last statistics that I was privy to is that the GDP, the gross domestic product growth of Belize, the sum total of goods and services has been, I believe, at 6% in 2024. This is much greater than what it has been in the Caribbean. Generally in the Caribbean, the growth has been 2 to 3%. In Belize, it has been 6%. You need to ask yourself, why is it 6%? What is it that is pushing the growth of Belize in a way that is, quote-unquote, impressive? Well, really, it's not because Belize has been producing more in terms of goods and services. The reason for the growth in Belize is that we have been borrowing, and we have been borrowing to chase debt, the public debt. That is the main story of the growth in Belize. And so you have to ask yourself, well, if we are chasing the debt and we are not producing more, and it's a function of borrowing, what is the national debt? And the national debt of Belize Mose is almost where it was in 2021, Mose. When you look at the debt to GDP ratio, and I just rattle off some numbers here for you. The debt to GDP ratio in 2013 was about 74%. In 2021, it was about 103% of GDP. In 2022, with the intervention of the Blue Bond, it was reduced to 66.82%, essentially 72%. And in 2023, the facts that we got, the figures that we got is 67.80%. Now, we as in the people that I volunteer with, the BFF, and Sister Yaya Marin Coleman of the UBAD Foundation, we are allied with a gentleman doing a PhD, a European gentleman doing a PhD. And basically his narrative to us is that the true picture of Belize debt to GDP ratio in 2023 is near what it was in 2021. So the picture that you're getting from the GOB is not necessarily accurate based on what this gentleman has said. I believe that there needs to be a detailed study on that. Long story short, Mose, I am of the view that the government of Belize is not in a position, the big picture is that the government of Belize is not in a position to afford that 8.5%. Why am I saying this, Mose? I am saying this based on the arithmetic as I see it. I believe that what needs to happen is that the government has to get off of this this narrative that we are doing well, but when you're asking us for a raise, we can't afford it. The government has to get off of that. The government has to come clean and say to the Belizean people, you know what? We are heavily indebted, and at this point, the resources that we have to deal with that national debt is significant to the extent that we are unable to afford it. I listened to my brother Dean basically saying, well, if you look at areas that the government can cut, if you look at areas that the government can improve upon, they can do it. And maybe he has an argument there. But I believe that, genuinely speaking, that it would be a hard sell. It would be cutting close to the bone if the government does that.
Well,
I agree with Brother Dean, Brother Mose, that there is the need to look at savings, and the government cannot continue to act as if we are not in dire circumstances. We are in dire circumstances. I believe where I agree with Brother Flowers and the unions generally is that the government has been behaving in a way where it seems to be able to find money where it wants to find money. And so for me, you have used the words, well, there needs to be wisdom and understanding. I believe the greater crisis is there needs to be a moral suasion. The government of Belize has to change its ways. The government of Belize has to come clean and say, you know what? We will embark on good governance. Everybody talk about good governance. But what Belize has been having over generations, really, in recent time is bad governance. It's bad governance. How you fix this, Mose?
I think that you have to have you can use arithmetic conveniently, but in my view, you have to use arithmetic, and I think you're saying the same thing, consistently, because if you don't, then you don't have the moral authority to be able to use it. And I feel that we have all, to some extent, lied to ourselves. We have champagne style and Kool-Aid budget. And the reality is that there is nothing special, there is nothing working to any degree when it comes to our present economic trajectory, and it's not just about 2025. We've been borrowing and spending. We have pushed the consequences of that onto future generations. A bit of it is being faced now because of what has happened since the pandemic. The joint workforce take a significant portion of the pain. The folks that you represent, again, have faced a disproportionate burden with what was done to get us out of the super bond strangulation. Essentially, what we did was trade off the stock. We traded off and essentially collateralized our marine spaces to the disproportionate burden of fisher folk. So we always find the least powerful collective to burden the sacrifice, rather than being honest and confront the nightmare that is our model and the way that it's presently configured, which is, again, I repeat, has some similarities to a Ponzi scheme. Yes, obviously finance experts, economic experts have to weigh in and crunch numbers, but the conversation cannot be an honest one if it is the position of the government is to deem what the joint workforce is asking for as being something that is without merit, without legitimacy, without without it being an organic reality of what they are facing. It can't be inherently a good faith process. That can't be a starting point. And so that is what I stand against, Brother George.
Well, Mose, I'll tell you that our current Prime Minister, when he was in opposition, rightly said that every woman, man and child in Belize owes US $10,000, which translates to 20,000 Belize dollars. And if we are now where we were back in 2021, those figures do remain the same, which is a crisis, Mose. I believe that if we were to look at where improvements can be made, Mose,
you can't preach crisis. You're doing a fair assessment, and I imagine that our economic picture is a dire one. But we have to. But we can only operate according to what the political directorate has messaged, and so that is the fundamental problem here. That is why they can't use an arithmetic argument when it comes to the CEO salary increase, because it's more than just a matter of the numbers. It is that you layer that increase, you put that in the face of your public workforce that has been forced to make the sacrifices, and so now now you cannot come and play the victim as if though there is something diabolical or something unfair or something outrageous about where the joint workforce stands.
Well, Mose, remember that there's also a class war going on, and that class war basically says that the 2% of the population who is at the head of the political and economic stream will prosper, and the 98% must bear the burden. And this is why I said that there's this moral and ethical hill that the government of Belize has not treated effectively with. Most one of the issues that I believe we need to attend is that government continues to privatize areas where there are sources of revenue. For example, the treasury is privatized most, and it's not just privatized, it's costing more to consumers. And it's not only costing more to consumers, for every avenue of revenue that government privatizes, it means that there is a deficit. There is less revenues that are to be collected there. Again, Mose, if you look at...
Do we continue to give out tax concession to every foreign direct investor that arrives on our shores?
Well, not only the foreign ones, Mose. You will recall that, for example, when we were doing, just recently, about a year ago, the government of Belize basically said, you know what, we are taking taxes off the export of cattle, I believe, into Mexico and other places. And again, if the GOB is doing that, then who pays the taxes most? It's the huddled masses that are paying the taxes. Just recently, there was an uproar about trucks coming over the Melchor border, where there was a decrease in terms of the cost on the axle. It's like, well, these trucks are like 3, 4, or 5 axles they are, and government was basically saying, we will decrease those taxes, and if you're decreasing those taxes, then somebody has to pay to keep the roads going, and to pay for healthcare, and to pay for education. And who is doing that? Again, it's the huddled masses, and it's a moral question, most. I believe that the government is acting in a status quo way, where it's trying to convince the people that it's acting in their best interest, but it is not happening, most.
Yeah.
When you look at it in financial terms and quality of life, the quality of life circumstances of Belizeans has depreciated and deteriorated most. When you look at, for example, most, you could ask yourself the question, and Belizeans need to ask themselves the question, if we're asking the government of Belize to be their own best evaluators, you will get this rosy picture. But if you're asking some outside organization, the World Bank and the IMF, and I'll just read off a couple of the...
I can't get into it further than... I can't get it further than that, but if you link me back tomorrow morning, let's continue the conversation, Brother George.
All right, Mose. Well,
yeah, I gotta go
I'll
to...
just start by saying, again, to be continued, but there are a number of things that needs to be fixed, and we need the political will to do better.
All right. We break and come back.
In 2024, the Belizean diaspora took over Los Angeles with the first ever Belize Diaspora Summit, and you know the only thing that could be ever better than that is to do it again. Belize Diaspora Summit 2.0. This time it takes place in the state of Florida, Fort Lauderdale Board Convention Center, July 10th, the 11th, the 12th. Belizeans from the diaspora, Belizeans from home in Belize, join together. Let's do it again. 3 days, government services, clinics, business displays, kitty corner, pop-up trivias, panel discussions. There will be highlights for business mixers. There will be a live performance. Racindio, Destiny Wagner is going to be there. There's going to be a live performance of Makobi. And you will have Immigration and Civil Rights Town Hall, special guest Kenneth Gibson, interview and book reading. There will be a wind-up reception, rhythms and rum. It's happening, Police Dashboard 2.0, Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Board Convention Center. Don't miss it.
In Belize, diversity is our strength. From the vibrant streets of Corozal to the serene beauty of Punta Gorda, and from the charming town of Benque to the breathtaking views of Half Moon Key. We are a tapestry of cultures, traditions, and perspectives. But amidst our differences, there's one thing that unites us all, that defines the essence of Belizean identity. Our love for this land and sea we call home. Our Belize Barrier Reef is more than just a natural wonder. It's the lifeblood of our nation, the foundation of our culture, and the backbone of our economy. Every lobster caught, every conch harvested, every tourist enchanted, every investor satisfied, every proud homeowner, and every taxpayer. They all depend on the health and vitality of our marine environment.
I may be out on the water every day, but I know that my livelihood is tied to the health of the reef. We all depend on it.
As a tour guide, I get to share the beauty of a reef with visitors from around the world. But I want future generations of Belizeans to experience it too.
Fresh seafood is the heart of Belizean cuisine. I want to continue creating delicious dishes that celebrate our local flavors, sustainably sourced from our waters.
In Belize, we may come from different backgrounds, but we all share the same dream, a thriving marine environment capable of sustaining us all. Together, let's work toward that future, a future where we all thrive.
At Atlantic Bank, we stand as more than just a financial institution. We are your partners in progress, dedicated to fostering your success by providing tailored solutions to micro, small, and medium enterprises. Your successes are our triumphs, and every success story deserves to be celebrated. We pledge to stand by you every step of the way. Today, we celebrate the values that define you with your unwavering dedication, steadfast commitment, boundless innovation, resolute work ethic, and unyielding ambition. We will navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and continue building the future together.
Make light work lighter and quicker with switch technology from Axi Power Tools. Axi Switch technology breaks the bondage of power cords and grants you the luxury of freedom and precision. Switch one battery across all your Axi line power tools effortlessly, allowing for quick and efficient work. Cut the cords. Choose efficiency with Axi Switch technology. Only at Benny's. Quality and savings.
Let's take a journey through the core functions of the Social Security Board. It all starts with registering as an insured person, employer, or self-employed individual. Sign up for a portal account to manage your Social Security information online. Just provide accurate information and click Create. This will give you access to a range of services and benefits. Next, your contribution, along with investments and other income, are collected and distributed into 3 funds. This ensures that the SSB fund is securely utilized to support various benefit programs. The SSB is committed to providing essential benefits such as sickness, maternity, injury, and pension. These benefits are paid out to eligible individuals as a part of the Social Security coverage. We help you navigate through life's challenges with financial security. Annual surplus accumulates to grow the fund each year. This surplus is invested into various industries, contributing to the growth and development of our nation. With each passing year, the fund continues to grow due to the annual surplus and interest revenue earned from prudent investments. This surplus, along with reserves, helps to bolster the SSB fund and provide a safety net for those in need. We've arrived at the end of our journey to better understanding how the SSB works. We remain committed to serving you and building a secure future for all Belizeans.
All right, welcome back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Mose, Hyde is in the house, but out of time. We're done for today with Health and Strength. I come back here tomorrow morning at 6:30 for WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. That's right. You know how we go. Once we got Health and Strength, we want to thank you all for being here with us, and especially to our team behind the scene. Larry G at Creme Radio, up at XTV. We got Pacliff. The glue, and of course, directing this morning, Miss Krista Flowers. As always, stand strong, stand firm. For now, we're gone!
No respect on selfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes to obey. And all the things that must happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize.